This is Akashvani. In the weekly program Current Affairs, now we bring you a discussion on government's efforts to empower farmers through fertilizer support. The participants are Anita Meshram, Additional Secretary, Department of Fertilizers, and Padam Singh Patil, Director, Fertilizer Subsidy Division in Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. Omvesh Upadhyay, anchor, is moderating the discussion.
Listeners, today we will delve into a topic crucial for our agriculture sector. The government's endeavor to empower agriculture sector and farmers through fertilizer support initiatives. Agriculture has been pivotal to India since the dawn of its civilization. With one of the largest arable lands complemented by favorable climatic conditions, it enables the subcontinent to produce a variety of crops. Even today, despite rapid urbanization, the growth of the agriculture sector is intrinsically tied to the growth of economy as a whole. In terms of economic productivity, it contributes to at least 1/6 of the national income and helps maintain food security within the country. The Government of India has introduced various schemes and policy changes to support the growth of agriculture in India, many of which have initiated the adoption of tech and financial assistance in the form of subsidies that provide better access to inputs to enhance the current process and structures of agriculture and the existing food system within the country. In recent years, revolutionary changes are seen in these sectors to be crucial for achieving the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, as a huge sum of our working population directly or indirectly are employed in the agriculture sector. With agriculture being the backbone of our economy and farmers playing a pivotal role in ensuring food security, it's important to explore how such interventions are shaping the landscape of farming in our nation. As an estimate, during the projected period of 2021-26, the Indian fertilizers market is anticipated to increase at a compound yearly growth of around 12%. And today, to talk more on this, we are joined by Anita Meshram, Additional Secretary, Department of Fertilizers, and Padam Singh Patil, Director, Fertilizer Subsidy Division in the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. I welcome you both in the program.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
So to begin the discussion, I would like to put my first question to Padamji, that Mr. Patil, how does the government is doing and trying to promote and adopt modern agriculture practices in India?
Department of Fertilizer has taken a lot of new initiatives in the last few years. It has created a separate division for innovations in Department of Fertilizer, so that all the new technologies, new products that are coming up globally, that can be benefited to the farmers, that can be introduced to the farmers. For example, recently Government of India has launched Namo Drone Didi scheme. Is trying to introduce drone technology in agriculture, so that drones can be used for spraying water soluble fertilizers, nano fertilizers, as well as pesticides. That will save a lot of labor and cost to the farmers. Apart from that, Government of India is also coming up with a lot of new products like sulfur coated urea. It's a new product by which sulfur deficiency in the soil that can be addressed, and farmers can have a dual benefit of nitrogen as well as sulfur with this kind of product. Also, one of our cooperative company and other companies, they have come up with a very new innovative product, nano urea and nano DAP. See, this 500 ml bottle of 1 nano urea and nano DAP, that is equivalent to a bag of conventional neem coated urea and DAP. That will save a lot of subsidy on the part, as well as the absorption ratio of nano fertilizers. That will give better results in terms of yield as well as productivity. So these are some of the new initiatives in terms of technology and products that Department of Fertilizer is coming up with.
On this topic, I would also like to add what Padam has said just now. As far as modernization is concerned, the new urea plants which have been set up in the country in last, I would say, 5 years, 6 new plants they have come up in the country of urea manufacturing. And I would very comfortably say that these plants, they are most modern, state-of-the-art plants and most energy efficient. What I mean by saying energy efficient, they have the best of the technology which is available in the world, and we are producing the best quality urea for our farmers at the most competitive prices. The government, as Padam has said and what I told you, government have been doing a lot in different fields for modernization and bringing in more technology, better technology in the fertilizer sector.
Absolutely. And in that regard, we already saw that there are a number of subsidy programs and financial support schemes for farmers in context of them purchasing fertilizers. So I would request you, Padamji, if you can share some of these schemes and initiatives that are there for farmers in agriculture sectors for them about purchasing fertilizers.
First of all, I would like to inform our listeners, in Department of Fertilizer, we have very beautiful system, integrated fertilizer management system that tracks our fertilizer supply right from import and production till the sale, the last mile sale to the farmers. So our farmers will have a very convenient system when it goes to the retailer through biometric system, through Aadhaar authentication. He can buy from the lot from all the available fertilizers of different companies. He will have the choice of selecting from all the available brand fertilizers. And this system gives us the detailed idea of who is your buyer, including their demographic details. That is one thing. Second thing, whatever the fertilizer is sold to the farmers, subsidy is based on that sale. In the last few years, our subsidy has gone despite geopolitical situations, corona, and other export bans from our neighboring countries. Our subsidy has gone quite substantially. It was 75,000 crores in 2014-15. In 2022-23, it went up to 254,000 crores. That's a huge jump. So you can see, just for the benefit of our farmers, Government of India has ensured that fertilizers, being an essential commodity, is available to our farmers at a reasonable price. Second thing, through our system, we also track how much of fertilizer is available in which state, which district and block till the retailer level. That also ensures the availability of all types of fertilizer that are required for all the regions and all the crops is comfortable across the country. This is how we try to ensure comfortable availability at a reasonable price.
See, the whole objective behind what has just been said by Padam is to make fertilizers available, adequate fertilizers, the required quantity of fertilizers available to the farmers on time at affordable prices. And I am saying three things: adequate, timely availability, and affordability. Since, as you know, agriculture is a seasonal activity, and therefore we have to ensure that fertilizer is available on time. So timely availability is very important. We ensure that there is timely availability of fertilizers. For that, what Padam just said, that we have monitored the availability through IFMS system, number one. Secondly, adequate. Adequate means that there is no shortage of availability of fertilizers. We ensure that there is adequate availability of fertilizer for our farmers. Whatever is produced, domestic production, whatever we have, the gap is fulfilled by the imports. And I would say that Department of Fertilizer has been able to ensure adequate. There has not been any shortage of fertilizers in last few years at all, whether it is urea or we say PNK fertilizers. And third, that is the most important, that it is affordable to the farmers. Urea, as you know, it is MRP is fixed by the government, and even for PNK fertilizers, it is available at reasonable prices. So we have ensured that adequate fertilizer is available to the farmers on time at affordable prices. And this whole exercise is important because since it is directly related to the food security of the country.
Indeed, very well said by you, Anita ji, that affordability and timely availability of fertilizers is very important for farmers, because if that will not happen, then it can harm the production of the crops in great ways. But when we talk about the usage of fertilizer, there is also this concern of soil degradation and sustainable use of fertilizer. So I want to know from you that in that regard, how the government address challenges like these.
See, as far as the soil health is concerned, in that regard also we have come up with number of initiatives. First, I would start with PM Pranan. The whole idea behind PM Pranan is, using balanced use of fertilizer. Generally, balanced use of fertilizer means that we get our soil tested, and whatever the deficiencies there in the soil, on the basis of scientific analysis of the soil test done, we apply the fertilizer. Number one, and through PM Pranan, there have been a very intensive, I would say, the awareness programs going on for the farmers that they use balanced use of the fertilizers. In recently going on Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra, PM Pranan was the main focus in this yatra, which was being done by Department of Agriculture, and it is still going on in 3 states as of now. Number 2, promoting and conserving soil health. It is very important that we use the optimum quantity of fertilizer, right? And the fertilizer which is absorbed to the maximum limit. That means the nutrient absorb of the fertilizer is to the maximum limit. And for that, we have come up with number of nano fertilizers where nutrient absorption is very good. It is more than the conventional fertilizers we have. And nano fertilizer, we have nano urea also, nano DAP. That would also help in reducing the consumption of regular fertilizers. And third, we have come up with market development assistance scheme, which is mainly for promoting use of alternate fertilizers, which include biofertilizers, organic fertilizers. And as we all know, these organic and biofertilizers, they're important for maintaining the nutrition of the soil, right? So all these three schemes, especially PM Pranan, nano fertilizers and MDA, these three are the main schemes which are being taken up by the Department of Fertilizer for promoting the soil health in the country.
Just to complement what Anita ma'am has said, for the benefit of our farmers, when a farmer goes to buy fertilizer, he can check his soil health card through our system. He just have to enter his soil health card number and he can check what is the status of nutrient availability in his soil. So our system can guide him. What is his requirement of fertilizer? Accordingly, he can choose the quantity of fertilizer for the application in his soil. That is a very good initiative.
Absolutely. And as you significantly talked about the importance of educational or awareness programs, I want to know from you now, Padamji, that if we talk about the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samruddhi Kendra, what is its significance and how does it cater to the needs of farmers in the country and also it provide them agriculture inputs?
Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samruddhi Kendra is a brainchild of our Honorable Minister. It's a very good initiative by which Government of India has decided to convert all fertilizer retail shops across the country into a one-stop shop for our farmers. A shop that can provide all the agriculture related inputs to our farmers at one place so that they don't have to go to multiple places to buy them. Like they can buy their seeds, pesticides, fertilizer at one place. They can get their soil as well as seeds tested from the PMKSK. If PMKSK does not have that facility, PMKSK centers can connect these farmers to different labs where they can test this facility. Then there are a number of Government of India schemes for farmers and agriculture related activities which our farmers are not aware of. So PMKSKs are really a good medium through which this information dissemination of Government of India schemes can be given to our farmers. So these, in a way, PMKSKs are working at a one-stop shop. And PMKSKs are located at district, block, as well as village level. They are playing a great role in educating our farmers as well as training of our retailers. These PMKSKs have played a role in Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra, gathering farmers and initiatives of government.
Department of Fertilizer working in synergy with Fertilizer Association of India and assisting industry?
Right. See, basically it is with all the departments, in fact, and same is with the Department of Fertilizer. Whenever there is any policy matter, stakeholders consultation, it takes place. And after due consultation with all the stakeholders, whatever policy decision have to be taken, it is taken. And it is a very consultative process which is followed here. And after proper consultation of all the stakeholders, then I would say, after due diligence, the decisions, they are taken by the competent authority.
Department of Fertilizer, like any other government department, takes the consultation at all levels, including Fertilizer Association, fertilizer companies. Their views are also taken into consideration before framing any policy.
Absolutely. And here, Padamji, we look at One Nation, One Fertilizer to introduce a single brand for fertilizer under which Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Urvarak Pariyojana will work. So how this scheme will help in increasing the availability of basket of fertilizer to reduce the crisscross movement and further ensure timely supply of fertilizer? How do you see that?
Yeah, you have raised a very valid point. One Nation, One Fertilizer is a scheme under which all the fertilizers being supplied to our farmers are branded Bharat Fertilizers. For all fertilizers, Government of India is providing scheme, like Anita ma'am has explained. Even though the actual price of urea that is coming to country or being produced in the country, a bag of 45 kg urea costs to the government around 2,000 to 2,500 rupees per bag. But the same bag is sold at 266 rupees, to 266.5 rupees to each farmer. So there is no difference in urea. But when it is being sold in the market with different brand by different companies, it becomes very difficult for the farmers, to choose from all those brands if that particular brand is not available. it shows that there is a shortage. But as such, there is never a shortage. Same urea is being supplied in the name of it. What One Nation One Fertilizer has done, it has brought all these fertilizers under one brand so that it becomes very easy for farmers to choose from plethora of options. He doesn't get confused from which brand he has to purchase. So in a way, it has created more options for our farmers, and the artificial shortage that was created just because of branding of fertilizers, that has been taken care of due to One Nation One Fertilizer. And as you rightly mentioned, it has also helped Department of Fertilizer to reduce crisscross movement, because there was a particular liking for certain fertilizers in certain parts of the country, like they preferred this brand of fertilizer only. But with Bharat brands of fertilizers, that issue has been get.
And my next question is to Anita ji, that if you look at the availability and variety cost of raw material, it have posed a significant hurdle for domestic production. So what efforts are in place to maximize indigenous production to reach self-sufficiency levels in terms of fertilizer production?
Because of very sincere efforts on the part of the government, we have been able to establish 6 new urea plants in the country, and each plant produces more than 12 lakh metric ton of urea per year, and it is a big achievement. 6 new plants coming up in last 6 years, it is a huge achievement, and it has led to reduction in the imports. All this urea used to be imported earlier. This new plants which have come up, they have really helped us in achieving the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And we have another one new plant which is under implementation and execution. And I would say in very short near future, we'll have one more plant which will produce more than 12 lakh metric ton of urea. And all these steps being taken by the government, they are helping using the domestic resource in the country, generating employment in the country, and achieving self-reliance in the sector of fertilizers.
Indeed. And Padamji, if you talk about the direct benefit transfer scheme, what is the view of yours in it?
Benefit transfer in fertilizers is a DBT in kind. Basically, it ensures, like I have already told you, we have a very good system, integrated fertilizer management system, through which fertilizer is sold only through Aadhaar authentication. So 100% of our fertilizer buyers Aadhaar authentic. So that takes care of purchase of fertilizers by someone else or diversion, so that only the intended beneficiary can buy or purchase fertilizers. So that way, our DBT system is very well developed. We can track our supply fertilizer movement right through import and production till the last mile. So that gives us the exact details of availability at each stage, so that we can take care of wherever there is a shortage. We get to know that this is the region, this is the part where fertilizer is falling short, and we need to more fertilizer in that area. That is how our direct benefit transfer of fertilizers is helping our farmers.
And here I would like to put an open-ended question to both of you and want to take your views on that. Earlier in the very beginning of this discussion, you already talked about this, that how there are various schemes and policies and efforts through which government is trying to modernize the agriculture practices in India. But if we talk about the role of innovation, research and development in this, how well India is performing globally, and what is the ultimate vision to go forward in future with this?
Yeah, we have been quite a few researches which has been going on in the fertilizer sector. First, as we told you earlier, nano fertilizer is a big innovation which has come up. In fact, for nano fertilizer, we say it is a type of second agriculture revolution, green revolution, which we are going to have. Second, I would say sulfur coated urea has also been introduced, which is a slow release urea, and it would provide sulfur also to the plants in addition to nitrogen. And third, even in PNK sectors, we have been, a number of significant researches have been going on to look for alternate sources of the inputs which are used in the manufacture of PNK fertilizers. A number of steps they are going on, and we are hopeful that we come up with more, I would say, innovations. And Gautam, you would like to add?
Yeah, in addition to what Anita ma'am has said, apart from technology and new products, innovations in terms of policies have also, Department of Fertilizer has come up. Like we have already explained about PM Pranan, PM KSK, One Nation One Fertilizer. These are also innovations, you can say, where new policies have come up, and that has helped our farmers in a big way. There is one more thing, that drone that we have already explained. Namo Drone Didi scheme, by which women self-help group will be given 15,000 drones so that these drones can be used in agriculture field for spraying of fertilizers, pesticides. This will give their remuneration, income source to these ladies, as well as it will create a good environment for technology in agriculture sector.
My next question to both of you would be about what is the nutrient-based subsidy and how it is proving significant in terms of agriculture production.
Yes, in order to understand this, we need to understand that there are basically two types of fertilizers. One is urea and others are non-urea. Urea is basically nitrogenous. There is only N. And there are other fertilizers which has other than nitrogen, like nitrogen, phosphorus and potash, NPK. So NBS, which was implemented from 1st April 2010, takes care of non-urea fertilizers, NPK fertilizers. Like in urea, we have a fixed MRP of each bag. MRP is fixed and the subsidy is variable depending on its production or import price. Subsidy is borne by Government of India. But under NBS in P&K fertilizers, the subsidy amount on each type of P&K fertilizer is fixed and rest of the cost is collected by fertilizer companies through MRP from the farmers. For example, there are different combinations of fertilizer. Like there is a DAP, which is 18-46-0, like N is 18, P is 46 and K is 0. So we decide the price of three nutrients, N, P and K, based on the composition of that particular fertilizer. The subsidy of that particular composition is fixed. So that is the main difference. Through NBS, we fix the subsidy of each P and K fertilizers. It is done every year, generally at the beginning of the Kharif. But there have been instances because of various reasons. Whenever the market is very turbulent, the prices are very volatile. So we have to issue NBS twice a year. Like at the beginning of Kharif, there are different rates for P&K fertilizer. Similarly, at the beginning of Rabi season, there are different subsidy rates for P&K fertilizers.
Indeed. And if we talk about different states and how farmers in different states are using fertilizers, there is this rising concerns of soil health, per se in areas like Punjab and all. There is also this depletion of water in ground and also heavy usage of fertilizers. So are there any state specific guidelines from the Department of Fertilizers on usage of chemical fertilizers?
We do not have any state or region specific guidelines, but we time and again talk about balanced use of fertilizers. That is our mainstay. You must have heard it a lot of times during this our program only. So balanced use of fertilizers, see each soil, each region, there are 15 agroclimatic zones. 15, 16. So they have a different crop specific, soil specific nutrient availability in their soil. So we cannot have a generalized guideline for the entire state. So it has to be soil specific, crop specific or region specific. So based on the health of that particular soil, the nutrient requirement of that soil is decided. So in these circumstances, the soil health card and there are different labs which test your soil. They come into effect and they help you decide the requirement of that soil. That is how you can maintain the soil health card. But from department side, in addition to these measures, we are also taking a lot of policy decisions that we have already discussed, like PM Pranan. PM Pranan is basically designed to ameliorate our Mother Earth, to improve the health of our Mother Earth. That is how we can take care of our soil.
And as we enter the very concluding stage of our program, I would like to know that apart from the subsidy and financial assistance, how the synergy in these innovative schemes and technologies are helping India to be more productive in agriculture sector.
See, fertilizer sector is a very evolving sector, and continuously we have been, coming up with innovations, new research in the area, new policies, new logistics, I would say, new system of transportation, like we have one Nation One Fertilizer. So it has been continuously evolving with the changing times, and the latest evolvement of the department would be Namo Drone Didi. And big step which the department has taken is bringing technology, bringing modernization in the application of fertilizers, very scientific application of fertilizers, along with the empowerment of women. It is, I would say, a very perfect synergy of women empowerment, of agriculture, of application of fertilizer, of saving Mother Earth, all amalgamated into one. Like I can very confidently say that proactively the department has been taken up new steps, new innovations, and it's continuously evolving with changing times.
So today, after the discussion, in conclusion, we can say that it's evident from our discussion that the Indian government's efforts to empower farmers through fertilizer support are multifaceted and crucial for the sustainability and growth of the agriculture sector. For instance, by providing subsidized fertilizers, implementing soil health cards, promoting organic farming practices, and investing in agriculture infrastructure, the government aims to enhance agriculture productivity, improve soil health, and uplift the livelihoods of millions of farmers across the country. However, it's imperative to acknowledge the challenges that persist, such as ensuring efficient distribution mechanism, preventing misuse of subsidies, and addressing environmental concerns associated with chemical fertilizers. But having said that, government is sincerely working to address these challenges, as well as there is a collaborative approach involving policymakers, farmers, agriculture experts, and other stakeholders to challenge and foster a more resilient and inclusive agricultural ecosystem. So, and even if I talk about other schemes and other initiatives where government has recognized farmers as backbone of India's economy, the Union government already prioritizes farmers' welfare through a range of impactful schemes. Some schemes are designed to boost agriculture productivity, to ensure financial security, and promote sustainable farming practices. For an example, if we talk about Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, which was launched on February 24th of 2019, that provides crucial financial support to landholding farmers through DBT, direct benefit transfers, a sum of 6,000 rupees annually in 3 equal installments, and till date 2.8 lakh crore. Total sum has been dispersed to more than 11 crore beneficiaries. There is also Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana that provides comprehensive crop insurance coverage against non-preventable natural risks. Then there is Modified Interest Subvention Scheme (MIS) that offers concessional short-term agricultural loans to farmers at an interest rate of 7% per annum. And then there is an additional 3% subvention provided for prompt repayment, effectively reducing the interest rate to 4% per annum. Among all these initiatives and schemes, there is also this Agriculture Infrastructure Fund launched under the Atmanirbhar Bharat package. This Agriculture Infrastructure Fund aims to bridge infrastructure gaps in agriculture. With Kisan Kalyan in mind, the government has launched crucial initiatives so that farmers get fertilizers and other inputs at cheaper rate under a single roof, adopt new technologies to enhance their farm production, and are able to earn higher incomes. With these objectives, the government has launched 2 important initiatives for farmers. The first, called the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samriddhi Kendra scheme. It has a one-of-a-kind model fertilizer retail shop and offers various facilities under a single roof. The second, Pradhan Mantri Jan Urvarak Pariyojana, with the slogan One Nation One Fertilizer, has a single brand Bharat for all types of major fertilizers. As many as 600 kendras under the PM-KSK scheme will function as one-stop shops for farmers to assess quality agri inputs such as fertilizer, seed, pesticides, all at reasonable prices under one roof. And as we discussed in the discussion, there is Namo Drone Didi, recently approved scheme that allocates around 1,261 crores to provide drones to women self-help groups for offering rental services to farmers for agriculture purposes. This is a sum of all the initiatives and schemes funded or initiated by the central government so that the farmers and the agriculture sector can boom. On that note, and with your insightful input, we conclude the program. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us today on Akashvani.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on government's efforts to empower farmers through fertilizer support. The participants were Anita Meshram, Additional Secretary, Department of Fertilizers, and Padam Singh Patil, Director, Fertilizer Subsidy Division in Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. Omvesh Upadhyay, Anchor, was moderating the discussion. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 928909